I know that a lot of language learners are heading back to school, so in today's video I want to give 5 pieces of advice to help you do that more effectively. The first one is to realize that if you're even watching this video, I think that means that you're pretty self-aware and reflective. You know that you need to make some changes before school starts again. So I would see that as a good sign. If you're a little bit nervous or concerned or anxious about how you're going to perform in that foreign language class and you're thinking about that right now, I would take that as a sign from the universe that you need to implement some new habits and practices right now. There's still time to do that, and if you do it right now, it's going to be that much easier to keep up with them once school starts. If you wait till after school starts to try to think about how you can do things differently, you're just going to be too busy with a lot of different subjects. It's going to be difficult to do that. So research some new habits and practices that you can build into your schedule right now that you'll be able to keep going with once school gets started. Second, I want you to find a motivational channel. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to language learning, but maybe something related to positive psychology that you can tune into daily that's going to get you into the right mindset. Of course, if it's a channel related to language learning and they post regular positive content, perhaps stuff that's related to your target language, then that's going to help to keep you in the right mindset. It's super important to have the right psychology and that self-belief and that confidence when it comes to language learning, because when you try to think and express yourself in the foreign language, it's very easy to feel inadequate, dumb, insecure. So you always have to be fortifying your internal state before you get started. Third tip, and another thing related to mindset, is I wouldn't engage with other students and classmates in complaining about the course. A lot of students, that's a way that they like to make friends and bond with other people, is by complaining about how difficult the class is. Maybe it's not even really objectively that hard, but they like to complain about it because complaining is cool and it helps them to make friends and to fit in. But when you do that, you're subtly shooting yourself in the foot. You're subtly breaking down your own psychology. You might not even be aware of how much you're engaging in that, and that's a form of self-sabotage. So rule out any complaining about how difficult or how hard the course is. Try to keep a curious, open, positive mind when you're talking with your friends. Help them to look on the bright side of things. Okay, now let's look at a couple practices or tactics. So tip number 4 is to go get that extra help. Maybe your teacher offers some additional help sessions before or after schools. Maybe there's a club or an organization or a tutoring section of your school that offers some extra help. Get that extra help if you need it. It often surprises me how many students just don't get the help that they need because they just don't ask. And they struggle in the class, but they don't say anything to anybody. They look perfectly fine, but they're drowning. Okay, if you're having trouble, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you regularly show up for that extra help and other people around you, including your teachers, see that you're really trying, that could make a difference in terms of the results that you net. You're going to start to see yourself differently. They're going to start to see you differently. They're going to pour more into you. And you may be very surprised to find that instead of a C+, you get a B-, or instead of a B+, you get an A-. Those little bits of extra help sessions along the course of a whole term can really add up. Okay, and the final tip that I want to give you, tip number 5, is to add some fun enrichment that helps you to feel like, yeah, to learn a language is a really fun thing. It opens the doors of opportunities. It helps me to make friends, possibly friends across the world. One trouble that I often had in school was just approaching the whole thing too academically. I felt that languages had to be learned the same as any other academic subject, with a book, in a class, with homework and exams, with right and wrong answers. And languages is one of those things that, when you think about how we learn it naturally as humans from the time that we're young, it has nothing to do with any methods like that. We learn it socially in a very fun way. So I would say that as a student who's regularly engaged with classes and homeworks and exams, you need to be sure to remember to add in some fun things, possibly one activity every weekend, or maybe every 2 weeks, some sort of fun enrichment activity. It could be watching a new favorite TV show in your target language. It could be changing one of your favorite video games into your target language, playing it in your target language. It could be joining a language exchange, mixing and mingling with people in your community to do some kind of community service. I also run online card game events every Saturday. We have several language groups already set up. We have groups for Spanish, Japanese, Mandarin, and Turkish right now, and from time to time we do other languages too, so you could come out to play with us online. I mean, that's a whole great thing right there, is the opportunities available to you on the internet to meet people and to play games and to have fun and do language exchanges and tutoring online. So remember to add in the enrichment. Remind yourself that yes, this can be fun. It doesn't have to be a chore. Okay, those are my 5 tips. Let me sum up and you tell me which is your favorite one down below. You can also add some of your tips down below. But number 1, get started with some new habits right now. Don't wait. Number 2, don't engage in complaining and catastrophizing with other classmates about the course. Number 3, tune into some regular positive content in your social media. Follow some new channels or some new feeds that are going to keep you motivated. Number 4, ask for that extra help. Go get that extra help. And number 5, add in some fun activities. Add in some enrichment that will remind you that this can definitely be a fun endeavor. Okay, I hope these things help, and I'll see you back here next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.